right. 3, 2, 1. It's the liver shot. All right, buddy.
All right. I'm Don, and this is Dave.
What's going on?
And this is the premiere episode of the Liver Shot. A little bit about us. We're just a couple guys that are both MMA fans.
Yep.
Experts by no means. We have no combat sports training, but we like to watch MMA and drink beer. So we're going to give you our analysis and from our fan perspective.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about yourself a little bit, your background with MMA, Dave?
Yeah, with me, I got into mixed martial arts, like viewing and just watching the fights a lot later than probably yourself or anybody else, back in like the Liddell days and Tito and all that. I really got into it with Pride when I didn't even know what it was. I remember watching it in the morning, come on at like 4 a.m. I'd be up watching that, not knowing what was going on. But yeah, I remember the big names like Fedor and Nogueira and everybody else, and that's just like, I don't know, it got intriguing then, but I still had no clue what the heck I was watching there. And then found out about the UFC, obviously. And I think that's kind of where we're both at now, is like, don't do any mixed martial arts. Everything's from a fan perspective, but that's what the UFC, all these organizations looking at right now, is how do people view the sport, what's attracting them, and I think that's kind of what we'll probably get into today, is what's changing right now in mixed martial arts that was not when I was watching this back in 2004.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm getting at today, and probably the structure from my view normally.
Yeah, so I've been watching probably going on 15 years now. I started right before the first season of Tough, and right before Anderson Silva made his UFC debut. So I feel like I've seen it change a lot in that time, but that's one of the exciting things for me about MMA, is that it's so young, that it's evolving so quickly.
Yep.
It used to be you saw all of these specialists coming in with fantastic judo, or just a
name.
Yeah, wrestling, or he's the jiu-jitsu guy, and now you can't survive like that. No. I mean, there are a couple guys that are still doing that. Damian Maia, I think, is the first one to come to mind.
Yep.
But you cannot survive as a one-trick pony.
You got to have every gamut of the sport now.
The sport is evolving so quickly. I just find it so interesting.
When do you think that happened? When do you, like, not year range, just overall transition? Like, do you think it happened right after Liddell and them started retiring? Or do you think it was happening but no one saw it, and then all of a sudden it just took off because there's guys that, like Zabit, that came out of nowhere that picked up 20 years worth of a game and did it probably in 5 years of his full sport?
Yeah,
when he's competing.
It's hard to put a date on it.
Yeah.
You can see the spectrum as you go back when you have like the very first UFC events, and you actually have guys who are I am a kickboxer.
That's it.
I am a jiu-jitsu player.
I'm full wrestler.
I am a boxer.
Yep.
And it just kind of has evolved slowly from that point to where it is now.
And I think the reason too, I think nobody has a choice. You have to learn everything now, or you're going to get eaten alive.
And I should not have said slowly. It's evolved very quickly to where it is now. It is entirely different.
It seems slow there for a while. Like, okay, first Tough. When you're watching both of them go at it, when you had Forrest Griffin and Bonner go at it, if you put any of those guys in the ring nowadays, you'd be concerned for their life.
But back then,
those guys were beating anybody on the planet because there was only a couple facets of the game then, or only thought to focus on that was in the public eye. Now you got guys and girls doing everything under the book, and they work on one special thing for one camp. Next camp, there's 3 special things. There's never the same game plan.
Yeah, it's so incredibly different right now
than ever.
Yeah, and it's the level of skill is as high as it's ever been. So it's just very fun to watch.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're excited about MMA.
Absolutely.
And that's why we are starting up this podcast. So the way we're going to make this work is we'll have discussions about current topics, things of interest in the UFC, in MMA in general, but we are going to focus a good deal of our
heavy on
focus on the UFC. It seems to be the most prevalent and easiest to follow, easiest to consume right now. But there are great fighters elsewhere. So we'll go through current events. We'll recap some previous fights, give you our opinions on them, and who we would like to see those fighters get matched up with next.
Yep.
We'll also preview some fights that are coming up, give you predictions, how we see fights going, and then we can meet back next time and discuss them.
Yep.
Right now, I think we're going to be doing this every few weeks, depending on how our schedules go and the fight schedules. We'll try and give you a preview and a review on everything.
A lot of fights this year. A lot of fights this year. Now with the ESPN Plus, I like not to plug that, but there's a lot of big fights on ESPN Plus.
Right. I think it's going to be even easier to consume this year than last. So they're going to make as many cards as they can, and I think the cards on ESPN and ESPN Plus are going to be ending earlier. They're going to be quicker cards, and so you don't get there watch until 2 in the morning on
on Saturday.
Yeah, it seemed like they used to just draw them out as long as they could.
Remembering 2 fights in the beginning, and that's it.
But so we're going to do that, and then I think to start off these first few podcasts, we're going to focus on some specific divisions, get the conversations flowing. So we'll jump into the heavyweight division right now.
Yeah.